In Germany, the situation is escalating once again. Today is the showdown for Friedrich Merz. Among others were Federal Intelligence Service employees and the Federal Ministry of Finance in Epstein files actually involved after all. And the gas storage facilities here in Germany, I really have to say it like that. They already have two different measurement readings that differ by 0.7% depending on where you look. That's what this video is about, and we'll start with the very first video. Today, showdown at the Christian Democratic Union. The business community is turning away from Friedrich Merz and will probably give him a warning today.
The next 2 days will be decisive for Friedrich Merz. At the Federal Party conference in Stuttgart, it will be decided whether the Chancellor and Chairman of the Christian Democrats will get a boost or a setback.
A lot of Christian Democratic Union members have already expressed their lack of confidence in him. I made a video about it, but now they're kind of thinking, oh, this could hurt our election campaign. Because of course it's taking place right now in Baden-Württemberg, in Stuttgart. So they just casually thought, hey, maybe we do stand behind the Chancellor after all. I think it's all about them. I would put that a bit lower, around 75% approval. I think a bit about the percent approval. A bit further about the percent approval.
The economy is completely fed up. 3 years of recession and stagnation, and from the federal government there has been nothing but promises. Consistent reduction of bureaucracy, faster approvals, sustainable social insurance, the list is long.
Yes, the economy is really angry because social contributions have increased, especially health insurance. Energy costs have also gone up. Above all, it's the fuel prices that have gone up quite a bit. Yes, but the relief probably won't come this year and definitely not next year. We'll have to see. But the Chancellor now wants to run for re-election and lie to you again, saying that next year, or rather in the next legislative period. Sorry, I misspoke, although both could possibly be the same. He finally wants to start working on the relief measures now, but only if you all really vote for the Christian Democratic Union and not for the Social Democratic Party anymore. Did you get that so far? Yes, that's the wet dream of Friedrich Merz, which he will kick off with at the party congress today. He'll probably explain to us in exactly 2 hours and 50 minutes from now what he plans to do next. Or, as I like to say, he'll probably lie to the 1,000 delegates who will believe it all out of a lust for power. Wet Friedrich Merz.
He, 1,000. The Federation of German Industries now finally wants to see action. We measure the government by what becomes noticeable for companies, not by declarations of intent. Because announcements alone won't get the sputtering economic engine running.
Do you still remember the elections? What did we all say after the elections? Now he has to deliver, now he really has to deliver. Then came the summer, which noticeably got better, and health insurance contributions hadn't been raised yet. Then in the fall was a wonderful fall. I didn't make many videos in the fall, mainly because I was sick, not due to a lack of topics. And then winter came and nothing happened, but the costs went up, they managed that, but nothing else. Is there anything here in Germany that has changed except that the climate has gotten even worse? And this government is even much more unpopular than the Scholz government? Yes, and the Scholz government, now they have the next problem, just as a follow-up. The Epstein files are going to cause a lot of trouble for the Federal Ministry of Finance and of course for the Federal Intelligence Service. I heard about that this morning, but there might be a separate topic about it again. You definitely noticed it also from the video content. I'm back in the election campaign. I'm not going to miss out on it this year. with playful ease warning you not to vote for the Christian Democratic Union again, although I believe that you definitely won't vote for the Christian Democratic Union. But all right, that's all on this topic.
1,001 delegates are present, and there is a lot of discontent within their own ranks. Too little has happened so far, also because the Chancellor is avoiding conflict with the coalition partner's Social Democratic Party.
No, he's not avoiding it. He's just being much cleverer about it. He simply always gives in just to stay Chancellor. By the way, the Christian Democratic Union grassroots are starting to notice that now too. And I hope today that especially the young union really sticks a knife in his back. Of course, that's just meant metaphorically. Yes, so don't think, no, that's something other people do here in Germany. That's definitely not what we want. So no violence, I really mean it. Just so you don't misunderstand, I'll just leave that slip of the tongue in because I think you know what I mean. By the way, the Christian Democratic Union set up a help center at their party conference. If you get groped or something like that, I'm not kidding you, that's really how it is.
That's why I assume there will be a signal of unity, a signal of willingness to reform, also shaped by debates. And thirdly, support for the federal chancellor and party chairman in difficult times.
Well, first of all, I've heard Lindemann speak more confidently before, let's say with more trust in his own work. That seems to have faded quite a bit. There was a tone of hope in his voice. But let's be honest, yes, of course, Christian Democratic Union members are power hungry, and for them, corruption is completely normal. And it's not a big deal when that happens. Nobody goes after it. We all know that. We've seen it with Bosbach and people like that. But now I would be... Campaigners are also confronted by people, and I've said it again and again in my videos. Just send the Christian Democratic Union members a quick message from your campaign teams or to the representative from your city. Well, and they always get these emails and they also receive them. And they're supposed to keep campaigning now and can see that the Christian Democratic Union is basically losing nonstop. This party isn't gaining anymore. For years, they've been losing more and more in the polls. Which leads to the campaigners, I'll just say it like it is, getting more and more pissed off with this party. And the only question is, how many of those 1,000 people there? Today, they're asking themselves the question, better a terrible end than terror without end. If we take a look at the chart, we can see it very clearly that the Christian Democratic Union is actually on a downward trend, and curiously only two parties here in Germany are showing an upward trend.
In the afternoon, the moment of truth arrives for him. Then Friedrich Merz will stand for re-election as Christian Democratic Union party chairman. It should really be a result of around 85%.
Söder had 86 and was pretty much fine with that, right? He stood paralyzed in front of the cameras, at least that's how he explained it to us. Shorter. Cut in there. I have something else. I'll just add it at the end here. By the way, the Christian Democratic Union members are already being instructed internally to express their confidence in Friedrich Merz. In a secret vote, they are supposed to support Friedrich Merz now because of the election campaign, so they don't lose even more. So it's not going to be an end without horror, or an end with horror, however you want to put it, with the Christian Democratic Union. However, some of the ringleaders, let's say, have already been instructed this morning not to approve something like a chancellor candidacy again. If a good conclusion can't be reached today, it could destroy the entire party. And then you would have to worry about whether you could even govern in the next election. And as I just said about the 130 billion, it's still not certain that this government will survive past September. So it remains exciting. I'll probably hold back on the other topics I mentioned earlier and only cover, let's say, the most polarizing topics today. But now I'll sneak into the party convention for you and see how Friedrich Merz is doing there. And then I'll make a few videos for you.